There is a very real peril of this just becoming exclusively a Defenders channel. It seems every comic that I pick out and I want to read, it is a Defenders comic. This is gigantic size Defenders 3, or 3 if you are Irish. This one, it is hands down the most valuable and the most expensive issue of Defenders out there. Marvel, they recently did a facsimile edition of it. I really recommend you go and get that. The story is really good. The reason that this is worth so much is that it is the first appearance of Korvac Dallas, as well as being the issue where Daredevil joined the Defenders. It's by Stephen Gerber and Jim Starlin, so it's got a top creative team as well. The story is that the Defenders, they have been forced into a contest by Jeff Goldblum from For the Dark World, and now they have to save the planet from him. So Batman, he gets to get some help. He recruits his hard enemy Daredevil. And after this one, Daredevil, he goes on to have a pretty consistent relationship with the team. He is in some more of Stephen Goebbels' issues. And he's usually in like every second run on the book as a supporting character. Here, he is fighting Batman because he doesn't realise that Batman is a goodie bird now. Eventually, Daredevil agrees to help him and the Defenders save the world. We got some very classic cosmic Jim Starman art here. Then we are introduced to the rest of the Defenders. Batman, obviously. We got the Hulk, Seaman, Doctor Strange, Daredevil again, Velcro. And up there is Jeff Goldblum from For the Dark World. He's having one of his famous competitions, and the Defenders, they are his champions, and he is going against Mr. Doom's chess-playing computer, and Earth will be their prize. This is somewhat very Stephen Goebbels and very Jim Starman, where they have text pieces with like a single illustration, like it's a book or something. This never really caught on, but it's always an interesting experiment whenever I see it done. Here though, it's really just a slightly different way to introduce us to all the characters. Here we have got some backstory on Jeff Goldblum, how he was in For the Dark World. I am having to be really delicate with this comic. I am afraid of accidentally destroying it. Down here, that's our other baddie, that is Mr. Doom's chess computer. He is an Jim Strunky character. Up here is his very brief backstory. It just sums up what I have said. He is Mr. Doom's computer that he plays chess with. It's meant to be like the ultimate opponent in a game of chess or whatever, so it makes sense to use it here. We've got another bit of those prose bits on this page. That is a really good picture there though. Jim Starman art. He did the art and co-plotted it. This is explaining the needlessly complicated game that Jeff Goldblum is forcing them to play. And their competitors, they are all new characters, and most of them have subsequent appearances. Korvac Dallas being the main one, obviously. He went on to be in a major Avengers story. But this sequence is a bit counter to that claim, because the first ones here, the ones that Batman and Velcro fight, they never appear again, I didn't think. But look, here is Velcro fighting against a four-armed warrior who is a corpse being animated by his own horse. Where do these comic books get their crazy ideas from? Batman versus a giant bat now. And this comic purposely and obviously delivers good solo set pieces for the 6 heroes in this story. It is broken up into chapters like most of these are annual sort of stories were. This chapter, it is Seaman and Daredevil. One thing I will note, I think they missed a golden opportunity for some character stuff here. There is a Silver Age issue of Daredevil, issue 7, where he fights Seaman and he properly gets pummeled by him. I've always thought that Marvel consistently missed the mark by never having Daredevil reference that again whenever he bumped into Seaman. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It's like 12 pages of Seaman beating up Daredevil. Daredevil doesn't win. The idea is that his victory, it comes from persistence and not giving up rather than winning. And I think that would be such a scarring incident that Daredevil, he would have a lot more of a response to being paired with Seaman than not acknowledging it. Their enemies here, they both gone on to appear in Galactical Guardians comics. Though this little blob thing that Daredevil is fighting, it has got a lot more appearances than the reptile alien thing. Good scenes again though, especially the Seaman one. But maybe I just like seeing Seaman getting brutally beaten up and whipped. So the chess computer, that wins round 2 or chapter 3. And now we are on to chapter 4. This is Hulk and Doctor Strange. Our first opponent here is Gronk, who is small and unthreatening, but in a classic twist, he is strong enough to fight the Hulk. And then on the next page, here is our first appearance of Korvac Dallas. This was back when he was a machine godman from the future. Him and Doctor Strange, they fight. And this one is probably the most fun of all these fights. We have got Hulk fighting a little Tweety Pie looking cunt. And Doctor Strange fighting someone who will go on to be a major Marvel villain. Though Hulk, he keeps calling Gronk a midget. And I am really curious if they would have edited that out for the facsimile that they did. Like, I reckon if he had just said it once, they'd probably have left it, but he consistently calls him a midget. Actually, let's go back. We start off, he calls him a dumb midget there. Then over here, he calls him a midget again. He's not on that page. And then we're back here, and Hulk calls him a stupid midget there. And down below, he says midget twice in quick succession. Who would have thought that the Hulk, the physical embodiment of inner rage, would not be very politically correct? And then Doctor Strange and Korvac Dallas, their fight is just as interesting, but it has a lot less derogatory terms in it. And our final part of this tale, it's the Defenders fighting against Jeff Goldblum from Thor: The Dark World. And we have got a great sequence with, well, we have got a piece of comic missing there, cut out. I just remembered that now. I forgot that had been removed. But we have got a bit with Daredevil here, just in case you were thinking that his inclusion in this story was needless. Well, he is the one who defeats the baddie by exploiting his weaknesses. Very good. Then we have got some reprinted stuff, and I'm not going to bother covering them. This one here, it's an odd Seaman comic from the Golden Age. And then after this, we have got a Stanley Lee and Scott Ditko man's Doctor Strange. It's a shame. The other gigantic-sized Defenders that I reviewed, that one had the Daredevil issue with Batman reprinted. That would have made so much more sense here. This is a really great comic. I have been doing the Who Remembers Hank Scorpio story, which is the most well-regarded Defenders story, but people seem to overlook this one. It's brilliant. It's one of the first big cosmic epics in the Marvel Universe. We have got iconic creators like Steven Goebbels and Jim Starman. We've got a pretty much all-star Defenders team roster. And it had the Hulk call someone a midget 5 times. I rate it 7 thumbs up.